Hello, folks. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, well, I do sometimes, and they want to put chips in all the dogs, don't they? No, well, I don't think, no, we're not having, I'm not talking about feeding oven chips to dogs, and I ain't talking about dog and chips, as in some parts of the world might eat, and that's not a very good humour, that joke, but I think hopefully you'll take it the right way. What I mean is putting microchips in dogs, called radio frequency identification chips. And I suppose it sounds good, doesn't it? Because like, if your dog goes missing, mind you, if you've got a collar around the dog with a label on, then usually that's good enough, isn't it? Except for if somebody goes and waltzes off with your dog, that's not too nice, but I don't know how many times that happens. Presumably it don't happen too often. And even if it did happen, if they had something where they could scan where the chip was, presumably, it'd be a bit harder, but presumably they could take the chip out. So it's not really totally foolproof. So I thought, well, that in the light of that, there were some reports where some doggies had had cancer form around the chip. And I thought, well, that's not very nice for the dog, is it? I thought that's taking a bit of a risk putting that chip in, isn't it? But it was only a few newspaper reports, you see, so you think, well, you can't do a statistical analysis of how many dogs potentially might have that as a problem. A rather nasty problem. So you think, well, how are we going to find out? Do we say, let's chip all the animals, all the little doggies, and then maybe 10 years down the road, where we realise we've got a major problem, and go, oh, a major problem. Or we start now, right now, before we get too far into it, sort of coming back to the old Abraham Lincoln, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, if I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend 4 sharpening the axe. It's quite a good one, that. I thought, well, it'd be an idea. Ask all you nice YouTube people and say, well, you know anybody, or have you got a dog yourself, or maybe there's even a vet who's a bit concerned about it, because I know vets, they're nice people, and them vets, they worry about them little dogs, because they want the owners of them dogs, they love them dogs, and then vets, they know that, and they care about the animal. That's why they're vets, because they care about the animals. They really do. And I'm sure there must be a lot of vets out there going, well, it seems like a good idea. And probably a lot of owners think that too, but I just wondered about that. I just wondered, because it could be very traumatic if you're the vet that's put the chip in, and then a year or two down the road, people come back with their poor little pooch, and the place where you had to put that chip in, it's got a nasty bit of cancer in there, and then they'd be upset, and you'd be upset, because you think, oh, that poor little dog, because vets want to make animals well, they don't want to make them ill, and so I thought, well, maybe there's people out in YouTube land who'd be saying, we've got some information on that, and if there is, you could send me a message, or you could write in the comments below, and we could get a bit more information on this. We could do a statistical thing, and we could find out a bit more about that. And I thought, that's a good idea, because you see, I'd just leave you with this last thought. They say that dog's man's best friend, and woman, because we've got to be inclusive here. And you think, well, that's right, because most dogs are like most people. They're pretty alright, really, aren't they? You get a nice little dog, and he comes up, and he's wagging his tail, and he's all happy, and he loves to see you or she, and they're nice. they're nice, they're our best friends, right? Let's just face it, I mean, it's sad for if somebody's got an allergy to dogs, but generally speaking, humans and dogs, we get on pretty well together, and they're our best friends, and they're nice. And if you've got a best friend, you don't want anything nasty happening to your best friend. And so I thought, well, all those nice people in YouTube land, there must be lots of them who've either got dogs or know people that have. And I thought, well, let's see. Are you right down there? And if you've got a nice dog, and tell me if he's been chipped, or she, and if they have been chipped, we keep an eye on it. Anybody that has had a chipped dog that has got cancer, again, even if it's not occurred around the chip, need to know if it has occurred around the chip or it hasn't occurred around the chip. So we keep an eye on it and write down in the comments below, and we try and keep a look on this one. And I'll do sort of, if I get some responses to this one, we'll come back to this. And I think this is something that the people, these organisations for protecting animals, they should be on this one. They should be on this case. So, anyway, thank you very much. Cheers for now. And, as I say, a bit of feedback on this one. Thank you very much.